There comes a moment in life when you realize you were never meant to live in chains. A moment when the weight on your shoulders is not just pressure, it is captivity. And the worst prisons are not the ones built with walls and iron bars. No. The worst prisons are the ones built inside the mind. I want you to imagine standing at the edge of a door that has always been locked. And today, for the first time, you realize the door was never locked. You've been free all along, but something convinced you to stay. Some of you are in relationships that are draining the life out of you. Some of you are stuck in careers that have no future. Some of you are held captive by fear, by guilt, by the voices of the past telling you, you can't do better. This is all you will ever be. But I came here today with a message that will shake your soul. Walk away and be free. Don't let the fear of the unknown keep you bound to what is killing you. If you stay where you are, you already know what your future looks like. More pain, more struggle, more frustration. But if you walk away, if you dare to step out, you are stepping into a future filled with possibilities, a future where freedom is your portion. So my question to you is simple. Will you stay in the place of bondage, or will you walk away and be free? The greatest deception in life is believing that you have no choice. But I'm here to tell you, you have a choice. Every day you choose what to accept, what to endure, what to believe. The problem is, we get so used to being bound that we call it normal. There are people who will try to convince you to stay where you are. They will say, why change? Why leave? Why risk it? They will remind you of how difficult it will be, of how you might fail. But listen to me, you don't need permission to walk into your destiny. When you study history, you will see that every great leader, every great innovator, every person who ever changed the world had to walk away from something. Abraham had to walk away from his homeland. Moses had to walk away from Pharaoh's palace. Even Jesus had to walk away from the crowds to fulfill his purpose. Walking away is not just an escape, it is a strategy for victory. Some of you are holding on to things that God has already told you to release. You are staying in places God has already told you to leave. But today, I declare that you will no longer be held captive by fear. Today is your day of freedom. When a bird is trapped in a cage, it doesn't stop being a bird. It was always meant to fly. The problem is not that it lacks wings. The problem is that it has forgotten how to use them. I came to remind you, you were meant to fly. You were meant to be free. And freedom is a choice. So I challenge you today. Walk away from that which binds you. Walk away from anything that holds you back. Walk away from fear. Walk away from toxic relationships. Walk away from a life that is less than what God has planned for you. And when you do, don't look back. Because on the other side of your decision is the life you were always meant to live. Freedom is not first a physical reality, it is a mental state. A person can be locked behind bars and still be free, while another can walk in an open field and still be bound. The greatest prisons are not made of iron and stone. They are built with thoughts, fears, and beliefs that limit what is possible. The truth is, no one can imprison you without your permission. No one can hold you captive unless you allow them to. The moment you decide to walk in freedom, nothing in this world can keep you bound. The mind is where every battle is won or lost. Before a person becomes physically enslaved, they are first mentally conditioned to accept limitations. A person who believes they are weak will never fight back. A person who believes they are unworthy will never seek greatness. A person who believes they have no future will never take a step forward. It all begins in the mind. The moment you change how you think, you change how you live. You cannot expect a new life while holding on to an old mindset. You cannot expect to walk in victory while still seeing yourself as a victim. Many people remain in bondage, not because they lack the ability to break free, but because they have been conditioned to stay. Like an elephant tied to a small rope, They no longer resist because they believe they cannot escape. The saddest thing about life is not being trapped. It is believing that you belong in the trap. That is what keeps people stuck in toxic relationships, in dead-end jobs, in situations that destroy their peace. They believe that this is their reality, and they have no power to change it. But the truth is, the greatest power you possess is the power to decide. You may not have control over what happened to you, but you have control over how you respond, or never unlock. When a person is mentally free, nothing can stop them. You can take away their money, their status, their comfort, but you cannot take away their power to think, to dream, to create, to rebuild. The greatest revolutions in history did not begin with weapons. They began with a shift in thinking. Slavery did not end when chains were removed. It ended when minds awakened to the truth that freedom was a right. Oppression did not cease when rulers stepped down. It ceased when people stopped accepting oppression as normal. If you want to walk away and be free, you must first conquer your thoughts. You must break the mental chains that tell you, this is all I will ever be. You must reject the voice that says, I cannot do better. You must silence the doubts that whisper, I will never make it. These are the lies that keep people enslaved. They are more dangerous than any external enemy because they come from within. A person can fight an external oppressor, but how do you fight the enemy inside your own mind? The answer is simple. Renew your mind. Fill your mind with truth, with wisdom, with vision. Surround yourself with people who challenge your thinking, who push you to grow, who remind you of your worth. Greatness is not reserved for a select few. It is available to anyone who believes they can achieve it. But belief is a decision. You must choose to see yourself differently. You must choose to reject the limitations imposed on you by society, by your past, by your fears. You must choose to walk in the knowledge that you are greater than your circumstances. No one is coming to give you permission to be free. You must take it for yourself. And the moment you do, your entire life will change. Every decision in life comes with a cost, whether you choose to stay where you are or walk away to something greater. The problem is that most people only focus on the fear of leaving, not realizing the heavy price they pay for staying in a place that no longer serves them. They hold on to broken relationships, dead-end jobs, toxic environments, and outdated mindsets, all because they are afraid of the unknown. But what they fail to see is that staying in the wrong place costs far more than the temporary discomfort of leaving. The cost of staying is the slow death of potential. Every moment spent in the wrong place is a moment stolen from your future. Time is the one resource you can never recover. Yet many people waste years, even decades, stuck in situations that bring them no growth, no fulfillment, and no peace. They tell themselves that one day things will change, that one day things will get better. But one day never comes because they are too afraid to take the step that would set them free. Staying in the wrong place drains your energy, kills your creativity, and limits your opportunities. It keeps you surrounded by people who do not see your value, people who benefit from your captivity, people who would rather you remain small so that they can feel comfortable. Staying in the wrong place robs you of your confidence. The longer you remain in a situation that diminishes you, the harder it becomes to believe you were made for more. You begin to settle. You begin to make excuses. You convince yourself that this is the best you can do. But deep inside, you know the truth. You were meant for more. Yet the moment you decide to leave, something powerful happens. Yes, it is terrifying. Yes, it requires faith. Yes, there will be moments of uncertainty. But the reward of leaving is freedom. The reward of leaving is growth. The reward of leaving is stepping into the life you were meant to live. Walking away is not just about escaping. It is about positioning yourself for something greater. It is about reclaiming your power, your voice, your destiny. It is about choosing to no longer be a prisoner to fear, to people's opinions, to the past. Every person who has ever achieved something great had to leave something behind. Abraham had to leave his homeland before he could receive his promise. Moses had to leave the palace before he could fulfill his purpose. Even Jesus had to leave his comfort to step into his assignment. Leaving is the first step toward transformation. It is the doorway to destiny. Yes, leaving comes with uncertainty, but staying in the wrong place comes with guaranteed regret. The question is not whether it will be difficult. The question is, what price are you willing to pay? Will you sacrifice your future for the comfort of the present? Will you trade your potential for the illusion of security? Or will you dare to step out, knowing that what lies ahead is far greater than anything you leave behind? The reward of leaving is not just freedom, it is fulfillment. It is waking up every day knowing that you are walking in purpose, that you are growing, that you are living fully. It is the joy of discovering who you really are, without limitations, without fear, without compromise. It is realizing that the moment you let go of what was holding you back, you finally stepped into the life you were always meant to live. Some of the most powerful chains in life are the ones you cannot see. They are not made of iron or steel, yet they are strong enough to hold people captive for years. These chains are made of fear, doubt, guilt, past failures, and the opinions of others. They wrap around the mind, slowly tightening until a person no longer believes they can be free. The tragedy is that most people do not even realize they are in bondage. They wake up every day, go through the motions, and accept limitations as if they were meant to live that way. But the truth is, no one was born to be bound. Invisible chains are dangerous because they do not look like chains at all. A person can be trapped in a toxic relationship but call it love. They can be stuck in a job that drains them but call it responsibility. They can be surrounded by people who discourage them but call it loyalty. Not all prisons have bars. Some are built through negative mindsets and false beliefs that people have carried for years. And until they recognize the chains, they will never fight to break free. One of the strongest invisible chains is fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. Fear whispers, what if you leave and things don't work out? What if you try and you fail? What if no one supports you? But fear is a liar. It magnifies the worst possibilities and makes people believe they are powerless. The truth is, fear is only as strong as the power you give it. The moment you stop listening to it, its grip weakens. Then there is the chain of doubt. Doubt makes a person question their ability, their worth, and their destiny. It makes them hesitate when they should move forward. It makes them shrink when they should rise. But doubt is just a shadow. It has no substance, no weight, unless you believe in it. The most successful people in the world still feel doubt, but they do not let it control them. They choose to move forward anyway. Guilt is another invisible chain that holds people back. Many people remain in painful situations because they feel obligated to. They feel guilty for wanting more, guilty for walking away, guilty for choosing themselves. But guilt is a trap. It convinces you to stay in places that are destroying you. It makes you responsible for other people's happiness while neglecting your own. True freedom comes when you realize that you are not responsible for carrying burdens that were never meant for you. Perhaps the strongest invisible chain is the past. Past mistakes, past hurts, past disappointments. Many people live in today, but their mind is still trapped in yesterday. They replay painful memories, relive failures, and hold on to wounds that should have healed. But the past is a weight that will keep you from moving forward. You cannot walk into your future while dragging your past behind you. At some point, you must decide to let go. The good news is, every invisible chain can be broken. The first step is recognizing that you are bound. The second step is making the decision to break free. Freedom does not come by waiting for permission. It comes by taking action. It comes by confronting fear, rejecting doubt, releasing guilt, and letting go of the past. It comes by walking away from everything that no longer serves you. The moment you decide that you will no longer be a prisoner to fear, doubt, guilt, or the past, the chains will begin to fall. And when they do, you will realize something powerful. You were never truly bound. The only thing that kept you trapped was the belief that you were not free. There is a version of you that exists beyond the limits of your current circumstances. A version that is not held back by fear, doubt, or the expectations of others. That version of you is waiting on the other side of a decision, the decision to step into your destiny. But stepping into destiny is not automatic. It requires courage. It demands sacrifice. And most of all, it requires you to leave behind everything that is not aligned with your purpose. The problem with many people is not that they do not have potential. It is that they refuse to step out of the comfort zone that is keeping them small. They settle for what is familiar instead of reaching for what is possible. They trade greatness for security. They allow their dreams to die because they are too afraid to take the first step. But destiny is never found in comfort. If you want to step into your purpose, you must be willing to leave behind the things that keep you stuck. Stepping into your destiny means walking away from places that no longer serve you. It means walking away from relationships that drain you, environments that limit you, and mindsets that keep you bound. It means making the hard decision to let go of everything that does not align with the future you are called to. Too many people want the reward of destiny without the cost of change. They want success, but are unwilling to leave behind the things that sabotage their progress. They want transformation, but refuse to let go of the old version of themselves. But here is the truth. You cannot step into the new while holding on to the old. You cannot reach for your future while clinging to your past. There will always be people who try to convince you to stay where you are. People who will tell you that you are dreaming too big, that you are expecting too much, that you should be satisfied with what you have. But these voices do not come from those who have stepped into their own destiny. These voices come from those who have chosen to stay behind. People who did not have the courage to walk into their own purpose will always try to convince you to do the same. But you must make a choice. Will you listen to them, or will you listen to the voice inside you that knows you were meant for more? Destiny requires faith because the path is not always clear. There will be moments of uncertainty, moments when you wonder if you made the right choice, moments when fear tries to pull you back. But destiny is for those who keep moving forward, even when they do not have all the answers. It is for those who trust that what is ahead is greater than what they left behind. It is for those who believe that they were created for a purpose, and that purpose is worth pursuing, no matter the cost. Your destiny is not waiting in the place of fear. It is not found in the land of hesitation. It is only discovered when you take the bold step forward, when you walk away from the things that are holding you back, when you decide that you will no longer live a life that is less than what you were created for. The future belongs to those who are willing to move. The question is, will you step into it? The decision to walk away from anything that holds you back is one of the most powerful choices you will ever make. But making that decision is not enough. You must also refuse to look back. Too many people take a step forward, only to hesitate, turn around, and return to the very thing they were trying to escape. They leave a toxic relationship, but go back when loneliness creeps in. They break free from bad habits, but return to them when discomfort sets in. They walk away from limiting environments, but second-guess their decision when the path ahead feels uncertain. But here is the truth. You cannot move forward while looking backward. You cannot step into your future while longing for what you left behind. There is a reason why a car's windshield is large and the rearview mirror is small. The road ahead is far more important than what is behind you, yet many people spend more time looking at their past than focusing on their future. They allow memories of old failures, past relationships, and former struggles to pull them back into the places they once escaped. But looking back is dangerous. It weakens your resolve. It fills you with doubt. It makes you forget why you left in the first place. History has shown that looking back leads to destruction. When the Israelites left Egypt, many of them longed for the past, even though they had been slaves. They forgot the pain of their captivity and only remembered the small comforts they once had. Because of this mindset, many of them never reached their promised land. When Lot's wife looked back at the city she was told to leave, she turned into a pillar of salt, a symbol of what happens when attachment to the past is stronger than the desire for the future. The lesson is clear. If you keep looking back, you will get stuck. If you keep longing for what you left, you will never reach what is ahead. The enemy of your destiny wants you to dwell on the past. He wants you to remember the times you failed, so that you fear trying again. He wants you to focus on the relationships that broke you, so that you are afraid to love again. He wants you to meditate on past disappointments, so that you no longer have the courage to dream. But looking back only keeps you bound. True freedom is when you make peace with the past and refuse to let it control you. It is natural to feel moments of doubt after making a bold decision. Change is uncomfortable. The unknown is scary. But discomfort is not a reason to go back. Fear is not a reason to go back. Loneliness is not a reason to go back. You did not come this far just to return to what broke you. You did not fight to be free only to enslave yourself again. When you make the choice to walk away, let it be final. Burn the bridges that lead back to your past. Close the doors that invite old cycles. Stop entertaining the voices that try to pull you back. What is ahead of you is greater than what is behind you. Some of the greatest blessings of your life will come only after you refuse to turn back. The best version of yourself is waiting. In the future, not in the past. Your purpose, your success, your peace, these are found when you keep moving forward. So make the decision today. Walk away, be free, and never look back. No one will hand you freedom. No one will come and unlock the doors of your captivity. If you are waiting for someone to give you permission to walk away and be free, you will wait forever. Freedom is not something given, it is something taken. It is a decision, a mindset, a commitment to no longer live in bondage to anything that limits your potential. And the truth is, your freedom is your responsibility. No one can do it for you. Too many people blame their circumstances for their captivity. They say, I would leave, but I have no other options. I would change, but this is just the way life is. I would grow, but the world is against me. But the greatest prison is not made of steel bars. It is made of excuses. There will always be reasons to stay stuck. There will always be obstacles in your path. But those who truly desire freedom do not wait for perfect conditions. They do not wait for someone to rescue them. They take responsibility for their own lives and make the choice to walk away. There comes a moment in every person's life when they must decide if they will continue being a prisoner to fear, doubt, toxic relationships, or a negative mindset, or if they will take ownership of their destiny. That moment is a crossroads. On one side is the easy road of complacency, where nothing changes, where you remain the same, where you settle for less than you were created for. On the other side is the hard road of growth, where you have to face your fears, make difficult decisions, and take risks. Most people choose the easy road, not because it is better, but because it is familiar. But familiarity is a trap. Just because you are used to something does not mean you belong there. Responsibility means refusing to make excuses for why you cannot be free. It means understanding that no one else is responsible for your success, your happiness, or your growth. Not your parents, not your spouse, not society, you. As long as you wait for someone else to change your life, you will remain a prisoner. The moment you take ownership of your future, you become unstoppable. This is the mindset that separates those who stay bound from those who walk in freedom. The difference is not talent, intelligence, or luck. It is responsibility. Many people with less education, fewer resources, and harder struggles have still risen to greatness because they refuse to let their circumstances define them. They took control of their minds, their actions, and their decisions. They refuse to blame anyone else. They refuse to be victims. Freedom requires discipline. It requires you to break old habits, reject negative influences, and choose growth over comfort. It requires you to say no to things that distract you and yes to things that challenge you. It means doing the hard work of healing, learning, and becoming better every single day. Many people want freedom, but they are not willing to do what it takes to maintain it. They want success, but do not want to be responsible for the work that success requires. But here is the truth. If you are not willing to be responsible for your freedom, you do not truly want it. Your future is in your hands. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to give you an easy way out. If you want to walk away and be free, the decision must come from you. The power is already inside you. The question is, will you use it? Every great transformation begins with a decision to walk away from what no longer serves you and step into the life you were created for. It is not an easy journey. It requires courage to break invisible chains, faith to leave behind the familiar, and discipline to never look back. But the price of staying bound is far greater than the discomfort of leaving. Your potential, your peace, your purpose. They are all waiting on the other side of your choice to be free. Freedom is not something that will be handed to you. It is something you must claim for yourself. It requires you to take full responsibility for your life, to refuse to make excuses and to step boldly into your destiny. Yes, there will be fear. Yes, there will be moments of doubt. But true freedom is reserved for those who dare to walk away, who dare to grow, who dare to believe that they were meant for more. So today, make the choice. Walk away from fear. Walk away from mediocrity. Walk away from everything and everyone that keeps you small. You were not created to be bound. You were not meant to live a life of limitation. The door to your freedom has always been open. The only question is, will you walk through it?